Remember how the world was going to end in 2012? A bunch of people misinterpreted the Mayan calendar, and since it ends on December 21st, 2012, they assumed that that's when the world would come to a catastrophic halt. There were several theories as to how this would come to pass. My personal favorite is that a planet named Nibiru, or Planet X, would come barreling toward Earth, wiping out all life in its path. They even made a movie in 2009 aptly titled 2012. In this 2.5-hour tirade, John Cusack tries to save his family during the apocalypse. Eventually, the world completely floods, and John Cusack and family escape on a giant boat. That's right, they just ripped off a story from the Bible and called it a day. I remember people I know actually being afraid that the world would end, but when December 21st rolled around, nothing happened. It was just another fake doomsday prophecy. Or was it? Bear with me, this one gets a little weird. There's a theory going around the most reputable place in the world, the internet. Said theory alleges that the world did indeed end in 2012. But wait, if that happened, how are we all here? How is the world around us still here? An article by the Daily Mail explains it like this. In this theory, rather than everyone dying, human consciousness was transferred to a parallel universe or a simulated world, allowing life to continue seamlessly but with noticeable glitches, like the Mandela effect, when a large group of people share the same false memory. So basically, the world ended, all of our brains were moved to another dimension, but we all remember things from our original dimension. Several years ago, you may recall that a lot of people claimed to remember a movie called Shazam, in which Sinbad played a genie. The problem is that this movie never existed. At first you might think, well, they're just confusing it with that Kazam movie with Shaq. But people are adamant they remember both movies existing simultaneously. I don't personally remember the Sinbad movie, but my wife does. I think the whole thing is pretty weird. So does the Sinbad genie movie exist in our previous dimension?
I personally choose to believe that we're living in a false reality. It makes me feel better about the horrible things I do. For instance, today I accepted a job offer that no decent human being with a conscience would ever accept. But get this, they're offering me a $50,000 sign-on bonus.
Okay, let's get back to the original topic. This theory is actually 3 theories combined, right? The 2012 doomsday theory, the Mandela effect, and the simulation theory. It's like the Unitarian Church of internet conspiracy theories. One of the explanations proponents of this theory use is that the world is so much worse than it's ever been, with COVID, political divisiveness, and an increase in violence being cited. See, apparently this dimension is much less stable and things are much worse here. So what do I think about all this? While stuff like this does fascinate me, I just don't buy it. Like I said, a lot of it hinges on the idea that the world is worse now. I kind of think the world has always been pretty bad. This might be the worst the US has been in our lifetime, but maybe that points more to American arrogance than anything. Things have been dire for a long time in other places, and finally it's a little uncertain and scary in America, so it must be the end of the world, right? You might disagree, and that's okay. I just don't think we see the full picture sometimes. Although I will say that if this theory is true, it means that Patrick Mahomes has never actually won a Super Bowl. So maybe I do want to believe it. Thanks for watching today. Before we go, I just wanted to bring in an expert to discuss this topic with us. I asked him what he thinks about this 2012 theory. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Frank Corncob.
And that's not even the half of it. This is only the first time that everything was restarted. In 2012, we've had 7 different iterations to get to the present. Every single one of these events is marked by one customer at Arby's actually filling out their customer surveys. Each time that happens, we're vaulted into a new and different timeline. Some people retain their memories, but most of us are inserted into a totally different world.
Makes sense.